You didn't fail the interview.
You didn't lack experience.
You were rejected before a human ever saw your name. So let's just dive right into this. Because right now, as we speak, there's this invisible system out there deciding who's worthy of a job and who isn't. And this system, it doesn't care about your story, your struggles, or how hard you've worked. I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, this isn't fiction. This is exactly how hiring works today.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, let's start with a story. A story that has become, well, way too common. It's the story of the modern job hunt, which, for so many of us, feels like shouting into a void. It's just a totally silent and, frankly, confusing mystery.
So, let's meet Sarah. On paper, she is exactly the kind of person you'd think companies would be lining up to interview. I mean, she's 29, she's got a college degree, and she has 5 solid years of professional experience. By all accounts, she's doing everything right.
And believe me, she has been working so hard at this job search. See this number? 120. That is the number of job applications she has painstakingly filled out and sent off.
And she's been doing this for 6 straight months, just sending her resume, her hopes, out into what feels like a total black hole. So, after all that time, all that effort, what's the result? 0. A big fat 0. Not one interview, not even a single screening call, just complete and utter silence. And of course, what happens? Sarah starts questioning everything. You can just imagine what's going through her head, right? Is my resume terrible? Is the job market just awful right now? What on earth am I doing wrong? She's blaming herself, trying to fix a problem that she can't even see.
But here's the kicker, the real truth, the key to this whole mystery. Sarah's resume, all 120 of them, was never even seen by a human being. Nope, it was scanned, it was parsed, and it was judged by an algorithm.
And that brings us to the main character in this whole new hiring drama, the invisible gatekeeper. You see, most big companies these days, they don't start the process with people anymore. They start it with software.
So here's the breakdown of how this really works. Step 1, you pour your heart into an application and submit it online. But, and this is a huge but, before it ever lands in front of a real person, it hits Step 2, an AI screening system. This thing automatically scores you, ranks you against everyone else, and only then, after that ruthless filtering, does a tiny, pre-approved list of candidates make it to Step 3, where a human finally lays eyes on it.
And what's this AI looking for? Well, it's not trying to understand your potential or your unique journey. It's asking these cold, calculating questions. Are you even worth my time to review? Are you a risk? And the big one, are you a perfect cookie-cutter match for the pattern I've been told to find? So here's the really crucial thing to get. In this new system, you don't really get rejected. You just get erased, wiped from the list before the process has even really started for you.
So if a machine is making that first critical cut, we absolutely have to understand how it thinks, right? What is this thing actually programmed to look for? Because I can tell you right now, it's not looking for the same things a person would.
Think about it. A human recruiter, a good one anyway, they can see potential. They can read between the lines and understand your career story. They might forgive a 6-month gap in your work history because everything else looks amazing. The AI screener? No way. It does none of that. It's just hunting for patterns. It's matching keywords from the job description word for word. And its main job is to flag anything that seems weird, any anomaly.
And let's be really clear about what a red flag means here. In this world, a red flag isn't a sign that you'd be a bad employee. Not at all. It's just any piece of data on your resume that deviates, even slightly, from the super rigid success pattern the system was trained on. So, what kind of things get you filtered out? It's honestly kind of shocking. Took some time off to care for a sick parent? Well, that's a career gap. Red flag. You're trying to make a brave pivot from marketing into data science? Sorry, that's switched industries. Red flag. Maybe you're self-taught or have a non-traditional background? Red flag. Heck, even having a resume format that the software finds confusing can get you tossed out. Even your zip code can work against you. But here's where things get really, really uncomfortable. You'd think a machine would be objective, wouldn't you? You know, free from all our messy human prejudices? Well, the reality is the complete opposite. What this machine actually does is create something called a human bias loop. Okay, just look at this cycle. It's a feedback loop from hell, basically. It starts with years and years of past hiring decisions, data that is, let's be honest, packed with all sorts of unconscious human bias. Then the AI gets trained on all that bias data, so surprise, it learns the exact same biases. Next, it applies that bias at a massive scale, automatically screening out anyone who doesn't fit that old biased mold, which means the people who do get hired look just like the people who've always been hired, which just reinforces the original bias for the next time the AI gets trained. It just keeps going.
And the ultimate result of all this? The future just starts to look exactly like the past. This kind of system isn't designed to find diverse, unconventional talent. It's designed to do one thing: optimize for conformity based on whatever's been done before.
So, okay, after all that, what does this actually mean for you, for your career? It means the rules of the game have fundamentally changed, and you're going to need a whole new playbook to navigate it.
All right, if you take away only one thing from this, let it be this. Your resume's first audience is not a person anymore. It's a machine. And that means you have to play by its rules. You need to mirror the exact keywords from the job description. You need to use a super simple, clean format that the AI can read without getting confused. Forget those fancy, creative layouts for now. Your #1 job is no longer to impress a human. It's to get past the bot.
And that leaves us with one last, pretty provocative thought to chew on. In this new world of work, the big question being asked of you isn't what you think it is. It's not, are you good enough for this job anymore? The first, and maybe the only question that matters at that initial stage, is simply, do you fit the pattern? And that, well, that's something we all really need to think about.